Hello, welcome to Ascension Arcana Tarot. This is Christine with a romance reading for November 6th. This is a general collective reading, so as always, please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I feel like yesterday was election day here where I live in the US, and where I live we had a huge snowstorm, so I feel like the energy has shifted quite a lot. It's just interesting kind of feeling into what's going on. I was actually up last night doing a bunch of inner work not related to the to the snow or the election, but yeah, it just feels like a good time to me for like some energy shifts. Sweet night. We got a bunch of friends flying out. I love when they do that. I like sometimes just going back to the basics with the Rider-Waite. It's like a fun deck. So the Knight of Cups for me is a really sweet incoming energy. He's a very loving energy. It's interesting. It's sticking out to me that he's not always like a very long-lasting energy. So sometimes he can be a knight who gets a bit swept up in the romance of things. Almost like when you're in the beginning of a relationship and you're kind of in like the lovey-dovey phase or whatever. The Knight of Cups kind of can live in that space. So I'm curious what the rest of these cards are, if they will lend clarity to me picking up that energy. But yeah, he feels like a very sweet incoming energy. Wow. Okay. Talk about the lovey-dovey phase. It's really interesting. None of this is speaking about that being a short-term thing, though. This is beautiful romance energy, actually. The Three of Pentacles to me is really just feeling like partnership. So there are three figures in this card. Sometimes readers will read that as like a third-party energy that you might be working through. So that might be the case for you. But really what I'm feeling is just the energy of partnership. So even like with the goal of life purpose work, right? So partnering together in work, partnering together in some sort of like grounded way. If this is a relationship that you've been kind of waiting for, it could be some sort of kind of groundedness coming into the relationship, right? That's interesting. So this could be like physically meeting up or communicating with each other, especially with this Eight of Wands here. The Lovers feels very obvious to me in this case. So I often talk about the Lovers as like a choice, but it's also the Lovers. And I feel that aspect of this here where there's like this beautiful angel, the sun overhead, and the two of them kind of coming together, in like a Garden of Eden type scenario. Here's like the snake and the apple tree here behind her, right? But what I'm not getting kind of the sinister piece of the Garden of Eden with the snake figure. What I'm hearing is heaven on earth. So it feels like this incoming romantic energy having some sort of a groundedness or partnership or like coming together, physically coming together aspect to this energy. And sparking like the heaven on earth. That's so beautiful. The Four of Wands here is what we call the twin flame card. It's the 1111, so you can kind of see the numeral ones in the posts. It's like a really joyful celebration, a sudden, beautiful, joyful surprise. It can be a card of like a wish come true. Here on the card, it's a couple that's getting married, and you can kind of see the other townsfolk sort of walking away back to the castle in the background, right? They're celebrating. It's like this big, beautiful celebration. And then the Eight of Wands it's actually sticking out to me that there are no people in this card. So the Eight of Wands is the only card in the Rider-Waite Tarot that does not have people on it. I don't know why that's sticking out to me. I just felt like mentioning that. This is definitely feeling like communication and movement. But it's interesting. It's like I want to pan out. I want to zoom out on this scene so that I can see like who these wands are heading towards. So I feel like if you're in this collective, you might not even necessarily know who this energy is or kind of where your romantic momentum is moving towards. I'm getting the message that it could be like a surprise, like maybe it's not the person that you expect it is. You could be having, so it's like almost making me anxious that I can't see the whole picture there in that Eight of Wands. So you might be having some anxiety too around like maybe not knowing who your person is. I feel like what's coming to me is my friends on the twin flame journey. A lot of times people really want to know who their twin flame is. It was a little different for me sometimes because I came into the journey without a specific person, but it seems like a lot of people in my spiritual community come onto the twin flame journey specifically having had like a twin flame experience with the person who they believe is their twin, right? But it feels to me like either some uncertainty around that person, or maybe even the person who you expect it to be, maybe it's not them, right? And sort of being open to like wherever the divine is leading you. I really just keep feeling that I want to open the frame of this picture to see where those wands are going. So if you're in this energy, you may be having some anxiety around maybe being in a period of a lot of inner movement, maybe even some external movement, right? Some incoming love energy, but kind of not being sure where that's going or like who specifically your person is. I've talked about how twin flames are the romantic connection that resonates for me. But it's for me in this reading, it's like whatever resonates for you, right? So it could be a soulmate, it could just be your highest level partner in this lifetime. I feel that the words are flexible, right? It's just reading the energy. Oh my goodness. You guys, I've started shuffling on camera because I feel like you won't believe me when these readings come out if you didn't literally see the cards like falling out of my hands. Yeah, I'm like a little bit speechless. It completely is a wish come true for you. This is like, I'm a little bit baffled right now of how to even explain how beautiful this energy is. Wow. Okay. So the Six of Cups here is a card. It's like the sweetest card. It's like this most innocent card. So I feel like this incoming love here is very sweet. I feel that from the Knight of Cups as well. Like he's not the guy who's running around trying to date everybody or trying to get something from everybody. Like he's a guy who's very sincere, who kind of goes like one person at a time, right? And kind of offers them his heart. And if that's not his person, then he'll move on, right? But there's like a sincerity and like a purity and an innocence there to his love that I'm feeling in this card. I'm also getting that this romantic situation might have to do with someone in your past and maybe even as far back as your childhood. So I don't know if that will resonate for anyone, but this Six of Cups card, it very much has a feeling, that feeling of nostalgia and kind of revisiting the past. So it could be that the person who's on your mind during this reading is someone who maybe you've dated in the past or who you've known before. Or could even just be like a friend from the past that maybe you had feelings for, but like the timing wasn't right or something just didn't work out. And I'm big time feeling like a reunion energy, like something physically happening that's kind of like bringing you guys back together. And again, that could be like in your physical body, or it could be like getting an email or a text or something like that. There's like a connection that I'm feeling on like a physical or an energetic level. The Knight of Cups and the Star, they're like the cards of wishes come true. So I read the Nine of Cups energy as essentially like a minor arcana star card. So the universe is giving us like a double dose of this wish come true right here. The Nine of Cups he's this guy just sitting there kind of with this like wonderful confidence as these cups that are filled with his wishes, right, are like arrayed behind him. And the cups in tarot represent emotions. So these are things that I feel are making him feel really joyful and peaceful and safe and like abundant and well taken care of, to the point where he can just sit there with this grin on his face, crossing his arms like, yeah, like the universe has got my back. I feel like that's the message of this card right now. The universe has got my back. And someone who's like really believing that, or like kind of having like a willingness or an openness to surrender to that truth, right? The universe has your back. And the star card to me is just feeling like those wishes. And I'm really drawn to the water here. It's what's coming to me is just emotions flowing. So I feel like that in the Knight of Cups too, saying that is attracting me to this like river here. There's a movement here with the river, with the knight moving, with those Eight of Wands, with this water flowing in the star card. It's like maybe things have been stagnant or stuck, but there's going to be like a moving of emotions and of love into this connection. And I really am appreciating how this Three of Pentacles, the groundedness of this card, and that feeling of physically coming together, it's grounding kind of all of this energy into like a point. So like I said, there's going to be like a meeting or a message, or there's like some, I don't even know how else to describe that. Keep doing this too. It's like that magnetic energy. So whether, like I said, whether it's a physical coming together or an energetic coming together, there's some sort of focus point that's happening in this relationship, almost like a spark of light. And I feel like it's going to be, I'm a little surprised we don't have the tower here. I'm kind of feeling just like the suddenness of the tower. And that maybe this is a little unexpected. I'm definitely feeling some anxiety, like I said, around that like uncertainty, or is this going to be like a surprise? But if this is a surprise, this is the most beautiful surprise. Like these cards are incredible. It's interesting. I was feeling that feeling of the night around him kind of getting swept up into that romance, but maybe not having it be so grounded. I'm trying to feel into specifically what that is, because I'm not getting that message from any of the rest of these cards, but I'm still feeling that from him. I wonder if it's kind of a message for you, just for now, if you're in this collective, kind of as this unfolds, right, in your experience, maybe a message for you to kind of take it lightly. I feel like I got that message recently in one of my shorts, to kind of take it a bit lightly, not put too much pressure on it, until you have kind of some more reliable energy. I'm feeling this a little bit more now, and I think I'm getting the words here to describe this. So basically, the Lovers, the Four of Wands, the Eight of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Star. So kind of like these 6 cards down here. Feels like the most incredible energy. This is the energy where you would go out on like one date with someone and just be completely swept away and be like, I'm so madly in love with this person. I'm ready to elope with them now. But I'm feeling like it's almost like this explosive kind of like hyper energy of just fixating on like dreams come true. Rather than, it's almost like the surface energy of like a happily ever after in like a Disney movie. But what I'm not feeling, aside from this Three of Pentacles, as like I said, being that kind of like spark point, right? Whatever that actual point is for this energy to focus on, I'm not really feeling it as being very grounded. It's very like fairy tale. it's like it's almost like if you're in this energy, you've kind of decided that this is your fairy tale and this person or situation kind of sparked those emotions for you. So that's it. It must be them, right? So it doesn't, I guess what I'm getting at here is it's not that that's necessarily wrong, but I do feel like this is an energy that's worth exploring to kind of see once you get past that lovey-dovey stage in the beginning, right? To see what kind of foundation there is for this relationship to stand on. And if you're in this collective, I feel like there's a huge potential here for there to be a very strong foundation. Having the Lovers in the Star like that, having potentially this past connection, it could even be a connection from like a past lifetime, right? And the Knight of Cups being so sweet, like, yeah, it kind of just feels like an energy to say, let the fireworks be done, right? And hold space for that connection and see what happens after that, right? That kind of feels like the juicy part to me. So this is the madly falling in love with each other part that'll last. I just heard like that'll last maybe the first 3 dates. And then being willing to go on the 4th date and the 5th date and the 6th date. And maybe the fireworks part has died down a little bit, but then you get to kind of explore each other more, right? In terms of going deeper, being able to see just beyond like the sparky, the fireworks part. That's an interesting message. I do feel like this is either a new connection or like the rekindling of an old connection. So like I said, whether that's like someone who you had dated in the past, or maybe even someone who like you guys never ended up dating, but there was some interest there and it kind of just wasn't the right timing or something like that. It's cool. I'm so distracted by this energy. I'm kind of side-eyeing it like, wow, this energy is interesting. All right. So we have the 8 of Wands. So this is a repeat of this guy. It's incoming. I feel like that's what the universe is saying by giving me this card again. Like, it's just another heads up, like, hey, this energy is moving. The 8 of Wands is a pretty it's like a card of fast movement. And it's also very targeted and like focused. You can see it in both of them. So the wands are parallel, right? And they're kind of directed exactly towards where the person who's shooting them wants them to go, right? So it's a very focused, fast, targeted energy. It's really showing me that this journey for you is going to speed up. Yeah, it's really just making me think of my friends on the twin flame journey, but this could resonate for you too if you're just doing any sort of spiritual work or doing your own inner work to manifest like your highest relationship in this lifetime, right? Like I said, it could have felt like nothing was happening for a while, and I feel like this is the universe tossing you a heads up that like some stuff is going to happen and it's going to feel like it kind of rushes in really fast. The 9 of Wands feels to me like you catching your breath. So there may even be a feeling of some overwhelm, like you almost having to take a step back because this energy is so intense. It's like, it feels to me like someone who's been single for like 50 years, right? And just has completely given up on ever finding love. And then all of a sudden there's like this spark of randomly meeting somebody in the grocery store or getting a random message from someone who you knew in like high school or something, right? And all of a sudden it's like this magical possibility of all of your romantic dreams coming true just like rushes in, right? And just being kind of swept away by that and having to almost step back a minute and be like, whoa, that's a lot, right? It's good. It's all good feelings. But it may feel like a lot. It may feel overwhelming and possibly a little unexpected. but it's beautiful. I feel like if nothing else, it might help rekindle some hope for you that like you were able to feel those feelings. 10 of Cups, that's sweet, and the 3 of Pentacles. So we have 2 repeat cards. The 3 of Pentacles is this one here as well. Yeah, I mean, I was reading that card as partnership. I'm feeling, it's funny that I had talked about like maybe this collective feels to me like folks who are deliberately doing inner work around like calling in their highest level relationship, because the 3 of Pentacles in this deck is about that. It's almost like an 8 of Pentacles energy for me, but kind of on a less evolved level or a less developed level, where this guy is honing his craft, right? He's practicing, he's kind of starting to master creating these pentacles here. So it's not so much partnership, but discipline and work and practice, right? And the 10 of Cups, I love this energy. It's so beautiful. It's the energy of the home, of joy, family, peace. You can see like the beautiful rainbow and all of the cups around them, and they're just like hanging out in this sunny field with their little home behind them. It's like so beautiful. So yeah, it feels like an energy of somebody who's been like doing inner work to call this in, to call in that like emotional happily ever after. But I'm really feeling with those pentacle cards, they're the only pentacles on the table. And I feel like I'm a little bit fixated on them right now because this energy feels to me like it needs some big time grounding, like big time grounding. Like I'm really wanting like the Ace of Pentacles or the 10 of Pentacles or a card that will sink us into the earth here, because these dreams feel kind of like airy fairy and dreamy to me. So if you're in this collective and this is resonating at all, I feel like doing some grounding work would probably be very beneficial for you. We had another one flip and I'm not sure where it went. It's like buried in the deck somewhere. So we have the 4 of Pentacles and Justice. That's an interesting feeling energy. Okay. I'm going to go back to my example of someone who's been single for 50 years and has given up on love, because I feel like that's how this energy is resonating for me. Is like the universe is finally coming in and giving you that justice, tipping the scales in the favor of love. It's like you've done so much inner work and worked on yourself so much and filled yourself with so much love that at some point the universe has to come up with a way to mirror that back to you, to bring that love into your life, right? Because like attracts like, it's simple manifestation. If you are filling yourself with so much love, that's the vibration where the universe is going to meet you, because you're attracting the things that are vibrating at the same energy level as you, right? So it feels like the universe kind of tipping the scales, bringing in that justice, bringing in that fairness, bringing in like the karma basically for all of this love that you are doing within yourself. And then the 4 of Pentacles feels to me like you're scared of it. There's like this, it's like that stingy miser energy, but it feels to me like it's coming from fear. So I feel like if you're in this collective, there's a part of you that's afraid of this happily ever after being real. And I'm wondering if that's part of the reason why this energy feels so like airy fairy to me. I don't know how else to describe that. But it really feels like that feeling when you go on the first few dates with someone, right? And it's just really exciting and you're getting to know each other and there's like all this energy flying between you. But it's like it's not like real, like that level of it not being like sustainable or really peaceful, right? Like I don't think we're meant to be in that excited, huge fireworks stage forever if it doesn't have like a solid foundation. Then it just kind of feels like anxious and chaotic to me in this energy. So I feel like there's maybe a part of you that's afraid to believe that like your dreams come true are actually happening and that they're real. And it kind of feels like if there's this defensiveness, like he's kind of like, "Oh, sorry, my arms are full of pentacles. I can't take any more pentacles," right? And I feel like that would be whoever's in this collective saying like, "Oh, my arms are already full. My life is already too full for you." And it's like you should be throwing the pentacles down and like running towards this person like and with like an open heart to explore this beautiful energy with them. Like I said, even though it kind of feels like not grounded right now, I think there's the potential if you would kind of, I'm symbolically like opening his arm, dropping the pentacles and opening his arms, right? For me, that symbolically feels like being open to exploring this connection with this person. And I feel like as you explore this, you and this person could grow that foundation together, right? Yeah. So maybe you go through like something happening to one of you and you guys can kind of lean into each other and you start to have those shared experiences together and you start to grow in like that trust and intimacy and like over time building that foundation together. It's like really beautiful. It's a very benevolent energy. I just am getting the feeling that it's like you thought this would never happen, so you're almost like defensive against it. I really am just so drawn to his arms and him saying like, "Nope, sorry, my arms are full of pentacles already. Like I can't accept any more pentacles." And just kind of the fear of the power of that. It's interesting. If you're in this collective, I feel that that's definitely something that would be beneficial to heal. That's sweet. I felt like there was one more. It's the King of Cups. It's the King of Cups. He's such a sweet card. So it's interesting because he is the water. Maybe this is the water here that he's kind of sitting on. I feel like he is the more mature version of this energy. So I actually feel like it's relating a lot to what I was just saying. And even with Saturn in the background, Saturn is kind of like a very serious and solemn energy in terms of astrology. Saturn is like the serious planet, right? But this Knight of Cups, I was feeling that energy where he kind of just likes the romance, right? But once that sort of fireworks stage is over, he might be a guy who would leave for greener pastures, right? But I'm feeling this King of Cups here as like a leveling up of that energy. The King of Cups is not a guy who's going to leave for greener pastures. He's here to create this 10 of Cups life with you. He's the guy that you want to have your happily ever after with, right? So I feel like he's showing up because of exactly what I was talking about in terms of taking this fireworks stage and allowing it to be what it is, right? And enjoying it, and also being open to exploring what the relationship sort of evolves into after the fireworks stage is over, right? And seeing what happens here and just being open to that. It's really beautiful. I feel like there's a huge possibility here. This is interesting. I hope you guys will let me know how this resonates for you. I just keep hearing like explore. I'm a little surprised we don't have like the three of wands or the Fool card here. That's funny. The Emperor is on the bottom. I was just checking to see if either of those was on the bottom. But when I was talking about kind of feeling like this energy needs to be grounded, I was going to say, I had mentioned the 10 of Pentacles, but I totally saw the Emperor in my head. And it would have been way cooler if I had said that out loud, because I was channeling his throne is made out of stone. And I just feel like it's so heavy that it would totally be something that would like ground this energy. That's interesting. The Emperor is very commanding. One of the things that I was going through in my own spiritual work today is just around completely owning basically what it is that I want and claiming it, like feeling powerful enough to claim it and getting really clear on like what that is. And I feel like the Emperor is such an excellent energy for that, because he's a total boss. That guy knows exactly what he wants. He feels completely like he's gonna be able to manifest it. Like he's very in his power and he's very clear on what it is that he's working to manifest. So I feel like that energy could work for you here, especially if what you're willing to do is not put pressure on this fireworks energy, but really focus on manifesting the grounded, like long-term stable partnership that also has the fireworks, right? So you have the fireworks, but it's on a foundation that's really solid instead of just being the fireworks, if that makes sense. Of course you want the fireworks, right? But it's different when it's on, that energy happens on a solid foundation. What messages do you have for my viewers? I'm going to shuffle these near me because they're a little tough to shuffle. They're also not very talkative. Okay, there we go. I was wondering if I need another deck, but I really felt like this was the one. All right, so we have, this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Yeah, I felt that with the Six of Cups card. I talked about that, where this could be even like a past life person, right? You might not be consciously aware of having met this person, but there may be like that familiarity. But I'm really feeling like for most of you, this could be the rekindling of like a past connection. Chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction here. I feel like that's this entire energy that I've been describing as like that kind of explosive love phase, right? In the beginning of a relationship. Like there's a lot of chemistry here. And just the dreaminess, right? Of feeling like this is your wishes come true, your dreams come true. It says, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Yeah, I love that. I feel like that's exactly what I was talking about around being willing to explore this relationship past the fireworks phase, right? To really get into it. Like, is this a person who, if you got a flat tire, you know, you could like call them and they would come and help you or like lend you support in some sort of way, right? Is this a person who you can rely on? Is this person kind to you? Like really exploring the relationship and finding out those things about each other. If this is a person who would be like a good, kind, reliable partner for you. I feel like we're going to do this one. I feel like I want animal cards. I have the Fearless Frog at the bottom. One of my friends taught me when I first started doing my spiritual work, frog is an acronym for fully rely on God. So I made frogs a symbol for me at one point in my journey. That's like a fun thing to see come up. We have Loyal Llama, Patience, Stamina, Diligence, Persistent and Peaceful Grassland Dweller, Show me fortitude in troubled times. I feel like I'm drawn to the patience and the peace and the persistence in this card. And that's what this feels like. So I was describing that this fireworks energy is fun, but it also feels kind of like hyper and excited to me, which maybe is fun for like the first 3 dates, right? But in terms of like a long-term life partnership or relationship, it's an intense energy to be like in that anxious, excited energy like all the time. And I'm feeling like that foundation, building that foundation together will be peaceful, right? Bringing this energy into a grounded space. And like having the persistence to do that, right? This would be getting past the lovey-dovey phase and having your first fights or disagreements or seeing that this person is not perfect, right? Kind of seeing their imperfections and how you handle that. Prosperous Pig, regeneration, good luck, abundance. Sacred symbol of fortune and fertility, bless me with opportunity for prosperity. You know what? The thing that I'm drawn to in this card is the pig with the wings, and it's making me think of that expression when pigs fly, which is an expression that we use basically to say like that'll never happen, right? Because pigs don't fly. But that's what this energy feels like. I feel like it's going back to that Four of Pentacles again. And I'm even drawn to the Justice card being blindfolded here, that if you're in this collective, it may really resonate for you that you have just given up on any of this and you just believe that this will never happen for you. And I just feel like I'm seeing someone going like, whatever, that'll, I'll have my true love when pigs fly or something like that. I feel like this star card is just going bing. It's like gleaming at me right now because one of the messages of the star card is hope. It's having hope. And I feel like part of this is like, you're doing the inner work. You're doing the healing. Allow yourself, allow the universe to bring in this gift to you and allow yourself to receive it and like experience this, right? It's not about when pigs fly. It's like, this is a thing. If you're in this collective, the universe has warned you twice here with the Eight of Wands card that this is incoming. And it's like, it's up to you what you decide to do with it, right? Are you going to be this guy with his arms too full saying like, no, my life is too full. I have no room for you in my life. I'm busy. I've got my friends. I've got my hobbies. Like I'll make a little bit of time for you, but I really don't have a lot of time to spend with this, right? Is that going to be you? Or are you going to be the guy who tosses the pentacles down and like opens your arms, right? And like welcomes this connection, this possibility, this dream, just with those open arms and kind of moves into like exploring what this could be. It's up to you. What choice you want to make. I feel like I've been getting that energy a lot lately. Are you going to choose to explore this? Or are you going to choose to say, I don't have room for this in my life, right? And that's completely your choice. But I feel like the universe wants you to know that this energy is coming in and it's coming in pretty quick. That was a really cool reading. It was also very romance-based, which mine last week was not so much. So it was fun to get like a real romance reading. That was really cool. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that this was helpful. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, or leave me a comment if you wish, as all of those things help me as I'm growing my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye.